Welcome to this episode of the Mundeezy podcast. Today we have Hometown Heroes. The Mundeezy podcast is brought to you by Anchor.fm as well as BBQ. Go to bbq.com for your favorite barbecue sauces as well as camper snaps. If you'd like to support this podcast, go to Anchor.fm, look for Emmanuel Munda, and then you'll find a way to sponsor, and we'll definitely mention you. Today, we're talking about hometown heroes. Now, the definition of a hometown hero is somebody that makes a difference in their community. I got three people who are just the most amazing people that I've ever talked to, communicate with, and the stuff that they've done is beyond what you will normally find in just normal people. I mean, you definitely hometown heroes where they're heroes in their own communities. So I'm going to bring up a good friend of mine who is known as somebody, I would say, has the best introductions because he's normally introducing me. So I'm going to give him the biggest introduction in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Santa Barbara himself, Mr. Drew Wakefield. How are you, my friend?
You know what? I am so amazing, Emmanuel. I am just blessed of God. And as I always tell everybody when they say amazing, Drew, I say, well, often imitated, never duplicated. And it's actually been written in all kinds of books. But here's the great thing. You can't live on feelings and emotions. You know what? I just go off of what God says about me. And every once in a while, one or two people will say the same things. But for the most part, I just believe that I'm amazing, because God's blessed me. And I got to tell you, I am so excited about being on the podcast with you because my dear friend, Adam Mckaig, one of the top realtors in the nation, but definitely in Santa Barbara, California, the most majestic city in the continental United States, is with us today. And what Adam has done in our beloved community has now generated Adam's Angels, and he has well over 100 people supporting community, helping seniors, disabled, shut-ins. And speaking to him earlier, what he started with just one Facebook post is now sweeping the country and the nation, where everybody's starting to join in and asking, what can I do to make a difference? And Adam is sharing that. He was just in Los Angeles today. He'll tell you all about it. But Emmanuel, it's a great, wonderful, magnificent, incredible, glorious day, and I'm happy to be with you.
Well, we're going to talk to Adam, and I know he has a lot of things to say, but I want to talk to you. I mean, what you have done, first of all, Drew is our wonderful MC when we do our Santa Barbara Stepping Out to Cure Scleroderma, and he's also our wonderful MC when we did our gala and helped us raise about $250,000. Let's just put it this way. Drew, when he gets into his work, and to him it's fun, right?
Absolutely.
He gets everybody riled up and being the most generous people like he is himself. And the reason why I wanted Drew here is because what he's doing in Santa Barbara right now as well too is extremely amazing. Drew runs the Santa Barbara Ramada, and he's been opening his doors at the hotel for people who need a place to work, and during this whole shelter in place, or during this lockdown, if they need to, some people just can't work at home. Trust me, I have kids. If they were a lot smaller, it's gonna be impossible for me. But he's been able to open up his rooms for that, and as well as first responders. I mean, who would do that?
You know what, Emmanuel, let me just break in for a second, because I want all the listening audience to know around the world on all your podcasts, and of course the Armed Services Network. I'm sure they're probably listening to this as well. But I'm very fortunate and blessed because our ownership, there's 3 owners, 2 of them are local, and our general manager, Tom Patton, is extremely generous. When this first started, yes, we were concerned because Santa Barbarans needed to go to work, and a lot of people had their key cards shut off by their companies, but they were still asked to work or work from home. I've got a lot of dear friends, just like you mentioned, that have kids running around in the background, the dog's barking, the wife or their husband is at home, the house doesn't look great. They're both trying to work from the kitchen table. The internet's slow, and they're saying, how can I do this and jump on conference calls to get my work done? So what we did was we came up with a $75 business working day rate. You could come at 6 in the morning, stay till 7, flexible hours. You could take an actual hotel room. It's all set up really nice, free internet. Everything is part of it, $75 flat rate. And you could have the ability to work here at the Ramada by Wyndham Santa Barbara. At that time, the pool was still open, our lush tropical gardens, the lagoons. You can walk around, which you still can now, feed the ducks if you want to take a break. Every room has a patio or a balcony. So that's great. People took us up on that. Then what we were starting to see was there were people, essential service workers, highway patrol, sheriffs, doctors, nurses, and everybody, grocery workers, bankers that still had to work, and they were on the front line. What was happening was people then were saying, like my dear friend Jonathan Gonzalez, CHP, he's fantastic. He was saying, Drew, this is difficult. I'm working double shifts. By the time I'm off and I'm trying to drive home, I'm concerned, am I going to carry this virus with me? So I'm going into the driveway, go into the my garage, taking everything off. My wife comes out and basically sprays me down. I walk into the shower, I clean off, but I still worry about it. So what we did was we came up with an $89 rate for our hotel. You never see those rates ever in Santa Barbara. But we did that. And then it started to get worse where everything else was going on. So what my boss decided to do is said, here's what we're going to do. Again, we're talking earlier with Todd and Adam about the spirit of generosity. And that was, they said, let's do this. Let's talk to my people that I know, contacts Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital, Goleta Cottage Hospital, CHP, SPPD, Santa Barbara County Sheriffs, and SWAT, and say, we're going to set aside 15 rooms for you that you can have anybody come and stay for 3 consecutive nights. The only catch is we're not going to go in and clean the room. So if you're concerned, if you just need some time, some space, we're going to offer that up to you through your point people. It's not just come and show up at the hotel. We'll give you free rooms. It's got to go through your point people at your work. CHP, Santa Barbara Sheriffs, County Sheriffs, Bob Gonzalez was over, Cottage Hospital. Everybody loves it. But here is the great thing about this, and that's why I'm so excited when we talked about Adam, because it's this. It's the spirit of people in Santa Barbara, which is across the world, but in Santa Barbara especially, and in our great country, the United States of America, that have the spirit of generosity inside of them. They have the spirit of giving. Because listen, it does not matter if you are on your deathbed, how much money you have or what you have, because we all know if you take a traditional burial, rich, poor, famous or not famous, we're all going to be 6 feet under. So before that, here's what matters most. What will you do with the time that you have? What will you do with your resources? That's why I love my dear friend, Adam Mckaig. I've mentioned him a number of times. I can't wait to hear him tonight, because this young man, top realtor in the nation, he could be doing anything he wants with his wealth and his fame and fortune. But he said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make a difference to my neighbors, to seniors. He started knocking on doors. He'll tell you the story. It's just amazing. But back to what we're all doing. Okay, what we're doing, it's about the spirit of generosity and giving and not about taking. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. So why don't we bring Adam in right now? Adam.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. I've been going through your Facebook page because every single post is just extremely inspirational. I mean, tell us a bit about Adam's Angels and how that got started.
Well, it's pretty interesting. Being when the coronavirus hit, our industry, the real estate industry, was deemed non-essential, which means, wow, I can't go to work anymore. So what do? I posted, hey, I can pick up any groceries or medication for anyone that is at risk, fragile of health. I'd be happy to do that. I got some responses and started delivering. But what was more interesting was the outpouring of volunteers saying, hey, I'd like to do that too. can I? And all of a sudden I had close to 50 volunteers. And amongst those volunteers were just some wonderful people who started getting groceries for their neighborhoods. I got Jeff Clark reached out to the new owner of EOS, and EOS, the nightclub, it had been shut down due to the virus, and he wanted to do something. He goes, I'm going to offer this wonderful venue for the Adams Angels. So with that, outpouring of volunteers and the outpouring of donations of clothes, for food, dog food, plants, flowers is overwhelming. And, I don't know what to say. I'm almost speechless because of the generosity. It is overwhelming. David Dart and his wonderful wife, Melissa, built a website called adamsangels.life to help organize the volunteers, help organize the donations. They also built a website called ourlocaltreasures.com, which is free to our artisans to sell their art on at no cost to anybody. They're just wonderful people. T-shirts, 100 T-shirts were donated with the Adams Angel logo. And it goes on and on and on of these wonderful, wonderful, generous people. And it's not me. It's not me. It's all of you guys that are doing this. I just happen to be the one that posted, can I pick up groceries for you? That's it. Bottom line.
So, it starts with a drop, turns into a trickle, and right now you have a river of giving that you started. But you're still very much involved. You were out doing something yesterday, right?
Oh, every day. Yesterday I came home at 9:00 and I was so tired. I was out getting donations and seeing the homeless. And I was wondering why I was so tired. I did not eat. I forget to eat because it is so exciting. Because I see a homeless person that's in need, and what can I get you? I get them what they need. Then there's another person and another person and another person. Someone calls for groceries. It goes on and on and on, and it gives me purpose to help. It really, really does.
That's amazing. And you were so what? Where do you go from here? Right now we are in the muck of it. We're in the middle of this pandemic, and do you plan on continuing this further on?
Oh, absolutely. It's got a life of its own. Again, I like your analogy, the drop and the ripple. This ripple is turning into a torrent, and there are people that are volunteering their managerial skills, and they're coming out of the woodwork to do things. And being that it is having a big effect, there are some wonderful community events that are coming up that I've been asked to help with my volunteers, which is again that'll be coming up, and Drew will be right there. He is Mr. Santa Barbara. Drew, you are the man. You are the one that we all thank and should thank, because you're the glue that keeps our community together. And I thank you and love you, my friend.
Well, I love you too. Emmanuel, one of the great things is when people pray and they ask, as many do, for ministering angels, God sent Adam and his angels. And I just want to add this. This is so important. Adam, what he has done, he started it, yes. And all the people who have come and flocked around him because of how great and how wonderful he is, because they trust him. But here's the beauty of this. We're talking about extremely professional and very extraordinary individuals that are so successful. Some, this obviously my hometown, love Santa Barbara, third generation, born and bred, makes me a thoroughbred, all that. But I'm looking at the people that all are assisting him, and you're talking about corporate executives, people that, they could write a check, and they, as you hear me on microphones a lot, They can use a lot of commas in those numbers that they write down, but they have humbled themselves to the point of saying, you know what? You tell me what I need to do, and I'll go do it. They're going in and out of grocery stores. They're going in and out of pharmacies. They're standing in lines at Costco and every place else to serve people. What a blessing. What a blessing. I know Adam's blessed because of all these people, but I just have to say, people are praying, God sending angels. They're wearing Adam's Angels t-shirts, which are great. I love those shirts, by the way. And they also come in red.
Yeah, and you're getting one coming your way very soon, tomorrow.
I love it. I love it.
Make sure you spray with Lysol and wear gloves and masks.
Actually, I've got so much sanitizer, and like Drew, I don't wear my same clothes twice. I take them off out front and then sanitize. I just bought 2,000 pairs of gloves, and they're not only for me, but when the homeless go shopping, through the thousands of articles of clean clothes that we have, we make them put gloves and masks on. We are providing masks, gloves, sanitary equipment, or soap and sanitizers for the homeless, along with instructions on what to do to prevent the virus, because a lot of them don't know. A lot of them have had it, that were released from jail and cast onto the street. I've literally handed out hundreds of masks, and I will have every homeless masked soon. The organizations that had been providing meals for them have since left, except for the Jewish temple. Amy Katz, that's why I got involved, which is running that. She asked if I could help deliver some clothes, pick up some clothes from some members of their church, and then deliver it to the courthouse because it was the Sabbath and they don't work on the Sabbath. I did, and I was hooked. I got rid of every article of clothing, and they said what they needed. I made a list, and some of them needed medical attention. So we have Doctors Without Borders that are going to be meeting our new Thursday night group at Alameda Park. They said, we will follow the food. So we are going to provide medical attention, food, and new clothing. And if you saw the Facebook, we have over 20 pairs of new Pumas and new socks, and blessing. And those are all donated from generous people. This individual doesn't even want recognition at all. But she wants to help. That's it. And she, in giving my car full of these new items, she said, what else can I do? Just tell me what I can do to help. And gosh, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Me too. I mean, wow. It's really hard to follow that now. No, what I'm seeing right now is that it's not just the generosity of others. It's like finding the forgotten people. You talk about a lot of us that have homes to be sheltered in place, or to be self-isolating, to be quarantined in, and we're trying to lock down an unseen disease that doesn't care whether you have a home or not, and You're hitting the right people.
Yeah. Emmanuel, let me jump in with one thing. This is really important. You know me very well. We're dear friends. I'm always on a microphone pretty much, right? And I tend to be pretty loud, so I get to announce. Adam knows that well.
You need your own show, Drew. So, we got to talk.
Because I get to announce UCSB, Go Gauchos. I get to announce a lot of sporting events, a lot of community events, raise a lot of money, and I'm on the microphone. So obviously, I've got a big voice. Here's the beauty of Adam, and I've got to tell you this right now because everybody that's watching around the world needs to know this. Adam is somebody who goes out and does things quietly. Adam doesn't self-grandize. He's not out there jumping on a microphone. He's not out there with cameras saying, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing. Adam went out and started, and the only reason why he posted the message was just to basically ask, is there anybody else that's in need? This has grown, and this is becoming huge. But Adam is exactly who he looks right now. He's sitting back in back of his Al Merrick Channel Island surfboard. He's a great community guy, but he is the most mellow person in the world. And so many people in our community, they would write on posts when it was, when it was getting a little bit publicity by everybody else saying, hey, this is great. That is just, I remember Diane McFarland. I mean, unbelievable lady. She just wrote this. That's Adam being Adam. And everybody else joined in and said, that's him. So that's the blessing that we have in Santa Barbara, California, to have Adam Mckaig, top realtor around the world, out there with his angels. So when we're praying, God's sending angels. They're in Santa Barbara, they're having Adam's angels right there on the front.
That's awesome. So what's the website again that people can reach you on? How can they get involved with Adam's Angels?
Just go to adamsangels.life, LIFE, and it'll navigate you to get to me. It's got my phone number. It's got my email. It has places you could donate canned goods, food, clothing, and whatnot. Or if you want to volunteer yourself, you could do that, and it gets back to me. And we have room for everybody. And there's ways that we could all help. You can start at home. Walk down the road. Is there some shut-in? Is there a lonely person? Is there a sad person? Help them. We also have a certified therapist, a counselor amongst Adam's Angels, and she's willing to donate time for those that may have PTSD. Like Drew said, we've gone through fires, floods, now coronavirus. Some people are really, really scared, and we can offer that as well. So you can just give us a call and we'll help. And everything's free. Everything is free.
That's awesome, Adam. Drew,
Yes,
give us your website so that they can check out Santa Barbara, because I've been at your hotel and I was blown away. I thought it was the Ritz. Mine's the Ritz.
It's very easy. It's just sbramada.com. SB for Santa Barbara, Ramada, RAMADA.com. You can see us on most social media pages, facebook.com/SB Ramada. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. We've got the greatest social media gal in the world, Marie Jimenez, that does that. Again, our general manager, Tom Patton. Our staff is wonderful. We'd love to have, when everything cleans up and clears up, anybody who wants to come to the Ramada and stay with us, we're happy to have you. We'll take great care of you. And I'm also on social media as well. I think technically it's TA for Thomas Andrew. There you go. That's the first. TA Wakefield on Facebook. And there's a lot of posts. Try to keep everything positive. Try to keep praying for people, which is great. But I'll tell you what, I am so blessed to know my dear friend Adam. I've said it all night tonight. I'll continue to say it. Just a tremendous blessing in the greater Santa Barbara area. And to know that it's now starting to sweep the country and the nation. It's going to have other names with other angels, which is just fine. But they are ministering to people. They've got the spirit of generosity. And when anybody has an opportunity to come up and see the originator, Adam Mckaig, you got to come to Santa Barbara, California.
Glad to say hi.
Like a true announcer, Drew. All right, we're gonna. Hang tight. I want to bring you guys in also at the end of the show, so we can round table with Todd. Now, Todd Franklin literally lives down the street from me, and what he did is extremely amazing, because on Facebook we have groups, right? Every community has a little group, and then our little La Crescenta community, you get everything from suggestions to where to get my oil change to every single political rant that ever exists in our little community pops up on there too. But everybody came together when this guy put together a nice little Facebook group called Crescenta Cañada Cares. And there's no politics involved. It's whatever you need, you just put it up there, and there's definitely somebody that comes in and says, well, I'll take care of you, I have something for you, whether it's a computer or lemons and oranges, and we now have a citrus exchange. It's amazing. So Todd, come in, Todd.
Hey, Todd.
Todd, how are you?
Hi. I'm fantastic.
So Todd, what got you to do this? Because I mean, you're busy yourself. You're a nurse, right? So you're in the front lines. You're in the thick of things. What got you to start off the Crescenta Cañada Care site?
Yeah. So I was on one of the local websites or local Facebook pages, and somebody had asked for something, and I'm not sure what it was. It was toilet paper or whatever, and 10 people said, I can get you that. I'll help you. I'll help you. But there were a few people that were like, you know what? If it wasn't for these damn hoarders or wasn't for this and these people, I'm like, you know what? There needs to be a safe place where people can ask for things and people can give things. And it's not about politics. It's not about coyotes or helicopters. It's just about people helping people. So I thought I would start this community online, and you know, our community is fairly spread out. We've got a large community that's kind of in this valley, La Cañada, La Crescenta, San Latahunga, and it just exploded. I mean, I've got 1,300 members on it, and whatever you ask for, somebody's got it. You know, you need crayons, you need flour, you need yeast. Somebody posts on there, somebody will help you.
It's amazing where it just brought the community together. I mean, I think I was on the other La Crescenta page, and it was a debate about, you know, going out and getting groceries, which I can't do all the time because my wife is immunocompromised, and if I went out every single day, it's gonna put her at risk. And I just post one little comment, and I had about 5 people, you know, saying, go to Crescenta Cañada Cares. So I joined the group, and sure enough, somebody posted about my post, and I had about 10 people comment on it, offering to help out already. And it's just that kind of community where everybody is physically distant, but now there's, you know, socially closer. You know, I'm sure I can walk down the street and like know the people who say hi to me because, you know, I'm the only big Filipino bald guy walking the streets right now.
Well, you know, I found that the people really want to help people. You know, that's the thing. It's our nature. And you know, people talk all the time about negativity and this and that, and how people don't trust people or want to do this or that. I find it's the opposite. I find if you present an opportunity for people to help people, they will. And, you know, it's about the company you keep. You know, if you hang out with good people, if you're a good person, you hang out with good people, there's a lot of good people out there. And so I set this page up to kind of facilitate that. And I've been really enheartened by it. You know, there's been a few political posts and stuff that I've taken down, but not very many. You know, it's people are just out there, just wanting to help people, pick up prescriptions for them, walk their dog, you know, whatever. It's really been a great experience for our community.
And so, what do you think? Are we gonna grow this community? Are we gonna grow the caring aspect? Are you gonna continue to curate what people post? I think that's one of the important things that that's a tough job already.
Well, yeah, I actually kind of think and kind of hope that this kind of thing will ebb and flow. You know, it doesn't need to be out here all the time, but if you need something, you ask for it. You know, it'll pop up on somebody's page. But I really think it will kind of, as things get calmer, hopefully, it'll kind of die down. And if there's an earthquake, which, you know, of course we will have, or a fire or any of these things, it will pop back up again, and people will like, be like, okay, what do you need? I can help you. But we've got this base establishment of people helping people.
That's awesome. This is sort of a funny thing where I was talking to you and I was talking about how I used to teach at the LA County High School for the Arts.
Right.
And you're a Loxa parent.
I am. My daughter went to Loxa. It's yeah.
And I know we have a big community around the La Crescenta Cañada as well too, where there's a ton of people who are related to Loxa, which is amazing. And I think, you know, we're already here because we know that situation. But in any case, I'm as a nurse and you're in burn unit ER, right?
I'm in the burn intensive care unit is where I work. Yes.
Wow. I mean, how do you manage going from a hospital to home? I mean, I know some nurses are.
You know, it's
a transition.
Sure, it's been the outpouring from the community has been phenomenal. You know, usually the firefighters, the police officers, you know, when there were the fires, there was this huge outpouring for the firefighters or whatever. And we just kind of work behind the scenes. The outpouring of the community to support nurses has just been heartening and phenomenal. I mean, we're taking our lives at risk when we step into these rooms every day. And you know, there's a saying, you step back, we step up. And that's what nurses do. You know, it's yeah.
Hold on, I lost your video a little bit here.
We did lose video here.
We'll get back because I need to ask you some.
Sure. As long as we got audio, we'll keep going.
I'm going to send you a link. You just have to click it to turn your video back on. There you go.
No problem.
You see that? I'll edit this out in audio and we'll look like we're having a long conversation.
Yeah. It's all good, Emmanuel.
Do you see you're on your laptop, right? Or no?
iPhone.
Ah, that's why. When there's low internet, like we're all having right now in La Crescenta with a fabulous spectrum.
Internet, right.
All right, we'll keep talking then, because this is fine. Well, I'll put a picture of you in the post production. Frozen, but it'll be you. So tell me. There you go. Hey, he's back.
All right.
So we were talking about the outpouring of love for nurses in our area. Can you tell us, talk about it just a little bit, because that was one of the things that really struck me as well.
Sure. You know, I don't work at Verdugo Hills, but Verdugo Hills Hospital is an amazing hospital. There are community hospital. There are a lot of amazing nurses there in the emergency department, in the ICUs, and even the wards, everything. Huntington Hospital, those are our two local community hospitals. The nurses at these, of course, I've had family members at these hospitals. They are incredible. They are above and beyond. They step up and they are above and beyond what you know anybody would ever want for somebody to care for their family. I work down at the county hospital, and that's a great place. It's you know, we take care of everybody from senators and congressmen to the homeless, and it's where I want to be. It's actually a little bit of a different kind of nursing, but it is an amazing kind of nursing where we just take care of everybody and we treat everybody on the same level playing field, no matter what. In fact, in 2012, it was the very first year that they had a LA County department-wide Nurse of the Year program. And I am blessed that I was nominated for Nurse of the Year for LA County in 2012.
That's awesome. So we're gonna have a future Man of the Year, Adam, and now we have a Nurse of the Year here. Where do I find these folks? They're the most awesome people. But no, well, I mean, some of the examples within our neighborhood. I mean, the meal train for our local nurses.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal.
And we have, I mean, just all the restaurants that are involved into just delivering food, and or people that would go to the restaurants, pack up their vans and haul food to our local hospitals right now. And a lot of it had to do with, your little group that said, does anybody need anything? And so this hospital needs lunch, and then everybody piles in and helps out that hospital.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly, we could get food or takeout or whatever, bring our lunch. But you know what? It is so appreciated when you are recognized by your community, and just with a meal. That is an amazing gesture that the community does to support the people who take care of them in hard times. If you're there and you don't think about it, but everybody's had a relative in the hospital, and maybe not with COVID or whatever, but everybody's had a relative in the hospital, and it's not just the nurses, the physicians, the radiology staff, the nursing attendants, the clerks, everybody there is there to help. And sending a meal is just a phenomenal gesture. It just makes us feel appreciated. And it's nice. We're working hard, and we're here to help everybody, and we're taking risks, but we feel the love. We feel the love of the community.
Well, I'm going to bring everybody else in there, because I think everybody has a common theme here within being local heroes. I mean, our hometown heroes. We said before, right? It's a trickle, then it's a stream, then it's a river, but it starts off with one person, that decides to, let me do this and set that example. And I think all three of you have definitely done that. I mean, you've taken the initiative of bringing your community together to help out those that don't necessarily have a way to get help, right? Whether it's an old couple down the street that needs their food delivered. I think that goes with Adam and Todd, or with people who need a place to be because they can't go home to their families, with Drew. And I'm just blessed to have all three of you in front of me right now, whether it's virtually or real life, because I think we'd be good having a beer together one day.
Emmanuel, you know what, I'm here. I think you've got to mute the computer. Just add.
No, where is that?
iPhone.
Stop it. Okay, where is it? Unmute iPhone. There we
go.
are.
One of the things that I would just like to bring out, and boy, what a great hour is. I'm listening to Todd, Nurse of the Year. I'm listening to Adam, future Man of the Year for Santa Barbara, California. But here's what I'm hearing inside of me. These two gentlemen, they're farmers. What they've done is they planted seeds. They planted seeds of generosity. They planted seeds of giving. They planted seeds of blessing. But here's what's beautiful about this. They started out planting, but because they're both legitimate, they had the buy-in of friends and neighbors and community that then decided, you know what? We believe in them. We believe in what they're doing. We're going to fertilize that ground. We're going to water that ground. We're going to toil that ground. And now you're seeing the fruits, and you're seeing the abundance of what's grown out of these two wonderful gentlemen, Todd and Adam, from what they have originally planted. Because if you do not plant a seed, and we talk about this in fundraising, if you do not plant a seed, you're not going to have any growth. If you do not plant a seed, you cannot expect a harvest. But within that, Adam and Todd have planted seeds. It's been, again, fertilized and toiled, and more people are coming around. And they're not just going to reap a harvest. They're going to reap a tremendous harvest, tenfold, 100-fold, because I go back to my dear friend Adam Mckaig. It's Adam's angels. God's blessing Adam. God's going to bless Todd. And, you know, I mean, that's my background, so I believe in that, and I don't mind saying that. But when God blesses people and they're able to do extraordinary, unbelievable things, and look at the people surrounding your area, your neighborhood, your community, and the greater Santa Barbara community, we are so blessed to have gentlemen like this on here because they are making a difference. But it all started from them just deciding to plant that first seed and then a few more seeds. There's my 2 cents.
I think Drew just took us to church. I mean, we're close to wrapping up, so I want to just go around just for some last words. So I want to hear from Adam. Any last thing you want to say out there? Just, you know, some words of encouragement. Just a shout out or whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I'm honored to even be amongst your group. I don't feel worthy personally. I'm just a regular guy, just trying to help out other people. But thank you. As far as words of encouragement, I think we should all just, if there's someone in need, just help them. Bottom line, I mean, there's a lot of people in need. And I think that, you know, it's not just because of this virus. There's always been people in need, and, you know, we should always be receptive and keep our eyes open for those that just need a little helping hand. It's not that hard.
Drew?
Amen.
Your turn, Drew.
You know, one of the things that I would say, I'm trying to tell people this, is if you are hungry, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. If you are in need of a physician, it does not matter whether you're right, left, or in the middle. If you need a blessing, what you're asking for is you're asking for somebody to help and assist you. That's what I love about hearing about Adam and Todd. They're not out there checking voter ID. They're not out there checking what party you're affiliated with. Adam hit it on the nail on the head. If you see somebody that needs something, go and assist them. You don't have to ask questions about their background, what got them there. Doesn't matter what got you there to that position at that moment. What matters is you are there at that moment, and you need to be blessed. And it's times like this that we see the great men of our country, Adam Mckaig and Todd, rise up to the occasion and help others around them. And guess what? There is a harvest because others are coming to their aid, and it's going to sweep the country, because every morning when people wake up and say, I had a need last night, but somebody filled it this morning, thank God Almighty, and thank the Lord for good, wonderful people who actually came to my assistance. There's my second sermon of the night.
Todd, last words.
Yeah, so you know what? If you need help, ask for help. There are many people who are willing to help you. If you have something, offer it. Offer help. Simple. Be kind. Help each other. Bless you all.
Amen.
Amen
to that. I am truly humbled to be, you know, in the presence of all three of you, and it's, you know, this is the kind of people I want to celebrate within this podcast. People who make a difference. People who decide to take that initiative and show strength and so much humility. That it's one of the most amazing things. None of you want to take credit for it, except for Drew. I think Drew likes credit.
Right. He does. He works so hard. Thank you.
But I mean, I'm used to being also in the background, whether it's fundraising or producing things like this for other people, and I wanted it not for me. I wanted it for you all. I mean, last week I had teachers who raised and influenced so many great people, and they just want to teach. It's that humility that happens. Next week we're bringing in what is that? Next week, Boss Mamas. And we're talking about women who are mothers that run their own businesses. I mean, you have to celebrate that because Mother's Day is right around the corner. We got to make sure we got to give it up for the women as well, too. And I have some guests that are just amazing businesswomen. And even within this crisis, they're flourishing somehow, where they're now taking on parts that they haven't done before because some of them are not homeschoolers, and now they're part homeschooler, part bosses, and part homemakers, and to be able to manage that shows a lot of strength. And I just want to lift them up and celebrate them next week, because Mother's Day is coming. The week after, the day before Mother's Day, it's going to be Nurses Week. So I'm inviting as many nurses as possible to be on the show, not to talk about the struggles that they have, at the hospitals right now, but to talk about them, because a lot of them are more than just nurses. A lot of them are family leaders. A lot of them are artists. A lot of them have their own businesses, have their own little things on the side. And although nurses just is who they are as a job, but it also makes them what they are. And I want to celebrate that strength of being nurses. So next week, Boss Mamas. Week after that, nurses. And I hope everybody tunes in. Thank you, all three of you, for coming in and spending an hour with me. I know we had technical issues left and right, but I'm gonna make it work, make it sound good. Please listen to it on anchor.fm. If you want to support for as little as 99 cents a month, there's a little link over there that you can subscribe, and I'll definitely mention you if you're out there. Also, sorry about that. I get all choked up because you guys are way too awesome. But if you want to help out, please, if you're in the La Crescenta community, go to the Crescenta Cañada Cares and look for people in need, help them out. If you're in need, do the same thing. If you're in the Santa Barbara area or anywhere, go to adamsangels.life and be a volunteer, or just see what other projects you can help out in, because there's so many people in need, and there's so many people that want to help that need. And I just want to thank all three of you again for being here, and I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the sun. It's wonderful out right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you all so much. We'll see you on the next Mundeezy podcast next week, a week from now. I don't know my dates anymore. My time is just like, I don't even know what day it is. We're on quarantine time, guys. Thank you all. Maybe we'll take the show on the road, right, Drew?
Absolutely. I'm always ready. You know that.
That's right.
Well, it has been fantastic to hang with you guys. My pleasure.
Thank you, Paul.
Todd, nice to meet you, my friend. And Adam, you are the man and the man of the year. We're gonna get you that title because you deserve it.
Santa Barbara, you're too kind.
Mr. Santa Barbara. All right, folks. Thank you. That's all. Good night.
Good night.
Be safe out there. Drive
Thanks,
safely, guys. Bye.
Yeah.